Hi ladies and gents, welcome to the second podcast on Cashbooks. This time what we're going to do is we're going to look at 3-column Cashbooks. As with the 2-column Cashbook, the 3-column Cashbook, for the most part, is a book of prime entry and also part of the ledger system. The cash columns and the bank columns are both books of prime entry and they are also ledger accounts. The discount allowed and the discount received column, and the discount allowed column is on the debit side because it's an expense. We are losing some of the value of our sales, and it's got 2 L's in for the left hand side. And the discount received column, receive starts with an R, so it goes on the right hand side, and that is a form of income because it is reducing the amount of money that we have to pay to our suppliers. They are not part of the double entry system and they will have their own separate T accounts, and that's very important to remember. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in for you 5 transactions, and then I'm going to look at how we balance the accounts off. Okay, and then once we've done that, you've got obviously a question for you to have a go at doing. So, first thing is making the entries. Okay, the first one here, we've got another contra. Remember from the last podcast with the contras, it's basically because we've got both the cash and bank columns here in the same ledger. And on the 18th of the 11th, we're paying some cash into the bank, so we're going to debit the bank because we're gaining an asset in the bank, and therefore hopefully up here we've got a credit entry from cash to reduce the amount of cash we've got, and because we're losing an asset, then there'll be 1,000 in the credit side. Next transaction, we've received a cheque from GDIN to pay an outstanding balance of 500 after deducting a 5% cash discount. You have got to read these questions very, very carefully. In this case, he's paying off an outstanding balance of $500, and he is going to deduct, before he sends a cheque, a 5% cash discount. So we'll need to do 500 divided by 100 to find 1%, and then multiply it by 5 to find out the discount, which is $25. So we've got $25 going in the discount allowed because we have given GDIN this discount. And then to work out the amount of the actual payment, I spelled it incorrectly there, so that's my error. Okay, what we can either do is do the original $500, take away $25 to give us $475, or 500 divided by 100, and then multiply that by 95, because if it's a 5% discount, 95% must be the amount of the cheque. Either way, it equals $475 going into the bank. Right, the next question though, we're going to receive a cheque for $285, so the cheque is for $285, and that's to pay an outstanding balance after deducting a 5% cash discount. So here we need to find out how much the discount is going to be. Okay, the cheque is for 95% of what is owed. So to find 1% this time, what we need to do is 285 divided by 95, which equals $3. So 1% is $3. So the discount part is going to be $15 because we do 5 times 3, and the original cost price, if you were asked to provide that, would be 3 times 100, which is $300. So the key bit here is we need to find, if we know that the cheque is 95% of the original selling price, we need to divide by 95 first. So, discount allowed, $15, and the actual cheque, $285. Next thing, after we pay a Thompson cheque for $90 after deducting a discount of $10, so that's quite straightforward. We've paid the money out, so it's going to be a $10 discount received, and the amount that actually goes in the bank is going to be $90. And then one final transaction, we made a cash sale for $150. That's just going to be a debit entry in the cash. Right. Looking over here now, we want to use this version of what we've just done to go over the how we're going to balance it off. Okay, well, the first thing we need to do when we're balancing it off is to find out in general, the bigger side. However, we're going to do something different with both the discounts allowed and the discount received. So what you will see here is the discounts allowed total 70. That is going to be the amount of discount allowed. We are not going to balance it off with the discount received. There's going to be no balance carried forward, no balance brought forward for the discount allowed and discount received columns. And that's because what we're going to do is to put the whole of the expense into a discount allowed T account in the general ledger. Okay, so on the 31st, 30th of the 11th, 2015, from the cash book, we've put in $70 worth of discount. And we're going to do the same with our discount received. The total of the discount received is $20. Okay, so on the 30th of 11th, 2015, we put in $20 from the cash book. Okay, and a reminder, the discount allowed is on the debit side because it's an expense. The discount received is on the credit side. The other entries will have gone into the customer's accounts at the same time as we put in there the payments that we have received. So we would have reduced the debt that Alsalt owed the business in this case by a total of $300. There would be a credit entry of $270 and a credit entry of $30 for the discount allowed. Right. Now on to the basic balancing up. Well, for the cash and for the bank, the debit side is bigger. So what you'll notice here is I've put the 2,750 and 3,530 totals in already. We now need to work out the amount of the balance carried forward. So on the credit side, we have a balance carried forward of 1,750 because we've already got 1,000 on the credit side. And on the bank, we've got 280, 480, 3,530, take away 480, that's going to equal 3,050. And then what we need to do is to put the balances brought forward in for the 1st of December 2015, and the balances brought forward 1,750 and 3,050. Okay, so it's straightforward, it's very similar to what you did with the 2-column cash book. The bit that you've got to remember, the discount allowed and the discount received. We do not balance off the discounts allowed or the discounts received. We put the totals on the same side in the ledger accounts. So the discounts allowed have got the Allen on the left-hand or debit side of the cash book, but on the left-hand side or the debit side of the discounts allowed account. Discount received has an I on it because it's an income. It goes on the credit side. Put it on the credit side or the right-hand side of the cash book, and the credit side or right-hand side of discount received. Okay, question for you guys to do. Good luck with it and see you soon.